Hi everyone. Our group's topic, the rise and fall of organizational leadership, will focus on the constructive and destructive behaviors that arise in leadership. Power and politics in public administration plays an important role in successfully mobilizing resources within communities. Power can be used as a distinguishing tool or a dangerous weapon. When power is used as a tool, it can provide aid in coordinating distribution of resources, resolving community challenges, and promoting economic growth. When used as a weapon, it can lead to corrupt societies, unethical decision making, and negative organizational behaviors. Leaders in positions of power have a responsibility to their people by ensuring that they are exhibiting ethical behavior. Ethical organizations are driven by public administrators in power who should be held to the highest standards by ensuring that they are taking accountability, promoting an inclusive environment within their organization, and establishing clear organizational values. As can be seen from our introduction, public administrators who lack accountability promote negative organizational behaviors. This causes problems because lacking organizational values neglects the public by failing to uphold ethical responsibility. And although public leaders have a duty and moral to serve and uphold themselves to the highest standards, there are public leaders who illustrate destructive behaviors and others that illustrate constructive behaviors. Destructive leadership behaviors can be found in the case of Jose Huizar, who is a former member of the Los Angeles City Council and was arrested June 2020 for federal corruption charges, bribery allegations, and indictment. He had accepted at least $1.5 million in illicit financial benefits made from Chinese real estate developers, and he made false statements on a bank loan application and failed to report his illicit benefits on tax returns and ethics disclosure forms. Jose's case shows a varying degree of ethical violations found in the course textbook, such as selective disclosure, misrepresentation, deception and lying, false threat and false promises, and inflicting direct or indirect harm upon himself and others. In contrast, constructive leadership behavior can be found in the case of Dolores Huerta, who co-founded the United Farm Workers Union with Cesar Chavez. She holds a passion for justice, determination, and loyalty in lifting the lives of farm laborers, Mexican Americans, women, and the lives of the oppressed. And her ability to build trust with people and empathize and create effective change has caused her to be recognized as one of the most impactful women within the U.S. labor union and many generations, and who, in fact, at age 92, continues to inspire many, many leaders in politics, activists, and women group leaders.
Destructive power is caused when organizations fail to foster an environment of accountability, inclusivity, and diversity, and a lack of clear organizational values. It is the responsibility of public administrators to use their power to uphold and continue to build upon their communities. When power is used strategically and ethically, we coach public administrators to demonstrate constructive use of power within their roles. Being able to recognize how this power is used within an organization is important to help protect the integrity of the public. Power can be constructive and destructive in building organizational behaviors. Destructive behaviors occur when there is non-existent cultures of accountability, non-inclusive environments, and lack of clear organizational values. When organizations fail to foster a culture of accountability, destructive use of power does occur, like in the case of Councilmember Jose Huizar. Fostering a culture of accountability means that all employees are responsible for the decisions they make, the behaviors they exhibit, and their performance. When public administrators work together in recognizing how their decisions impact the public, we build self-awareness and accountability. There's a term that is coined by Apple that provides a really good example of this. This term is direct responsible individual. This term describes all members within an organization as responsible individuals for the success or failure of the projects that they're assigned to. This method leaves little room for passing blame and more clarity on who needs to do what. A culture of accountability leaves little room for individuals to display destructive behaviors because it shifts the responsibility to the appropriate individuals. Destructive power can also occur when organizations fail to include diverse personnel. Creating diverse and inclusive environments will positively transform the use of power. Including different voices in the decision making process creates action plans that include those that will be directly affected by these decisions. A positive effect that occurs when we have diversity and inclusion is that employees belonging to different cultures usually have different ways of thinking and can analyze the matter at hand with different perspectives and experiences that benefit the team. This is difficult to achieve when employees belonging to the same culture are tasked to analyze the same matter. When we have diversity and inclusion, it helps organizations transform those diverse perspectives and insights into organizational action plans. Diverse and inclusive environments can help strengthen our social, political, and economic well-being with the benefit of these experiences and perspectives. Creating inclusive environments creates trust within the ethical decision-making process and can promote positive organizational behaviors. The mission and values of an organization also play an important role in how leaders within their organization use their power to positively impact their community. When there's a lack of clear organizational values, it creates destructive behaviors that work against meeting the needs and demands of the people that they are serving. When organizational values are not clearly defined, individuals are more concerned with themselves and the use of the power for their self interest. This kind of behavior not only creates issues in accomplishing the community goals, but the overall performance of that individual and the initiative that individual has in completing those goals. Clear organizational values help public administrators with the ability to successfully carry out their obligations and use their power in a constructive manner.
The first strategy focuses on organizational leaders taking accountability and building positive organizational behavior. Organizational leaders should take accountability for the decisions that are made that affect the public and their organization. To truly foster a culture of accountability, organizational leaders will have to take into consideration their public accountability, financial accountability, and professional accountability. By following the 5 C's of leadership accountability, which are having a common purpose, so leaders need to connect with their team and ask what is the point and why it matters, having clear expectations, having clear communication, encouraging collaboration and coaching, which looks like leaders not telling their team what to do, but instead coaching them through the tasks. And lastly, consequences, so ensuring that results and consequences are visible. The second strategy focuses on developing sustainable and inclusive environments to foster a sense of belonging, valuing its members, and recognizing their contribution to the organization. To create an inclusive environment, organizational leaders need to promote equity and diversity by including diverse personnel in decision making processes. This will allow people to bring different perspectives and experiences when finding solutions. Acknowledging that there needs to be an institutional culture that recognizes that everyone has the capacity to lead will help leaders become more intentional. Another aspect of developing sustainable and inclusive environments is creating a safe space so that people are able to voice their concerns and contribute to solutions. It is also important that organizational leaders establish norms that everyone agrees with to foster community. And lastly, leaders should exhibit positive leadership behaviors to encourage others to lead by example. Our last strategy emphasizes the importance of establishing organizational values. One way organizations can begin establishing values would be to refer to the APU cornerstones that include Christ, scholarship, community, and service. These values can aid in the promotion of ethical behaviors that reflect trust and equity. We can see that by enhancing the understanding of our values, we can improve the way leadership handles emotional challenges.
In conclusion, the role of power and how it is used can heavily influence an organization's overall behavior. It is crucial that organizational leaders learn to foster cultures of accountability, diverse and inclusive environments, and establish clear organizational values. The successful implementation of these strategies can positively influence organizational behaviors that build trust, transparency, and help with the mobilization of resources within communities.